Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Season 4 of the OCL. My name is Dicehart, and today we're going to be bringing you our first game for round number 1. Very quickly before we begin, I will just mention our charity. Give us a hand fighting motor neuron disease. Visit the link there or go !! charity to give us a hand fighting that one there. If you can donate anything at all, it'll be much appreciated. Now, for tonight, we have It's a Wonderful Day for Pi versus Crimson Knights. I'm going to throw it straight over to our desk with Nan and Moss to bring us through this set. Take it away, boys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the very first proper set of the regular season of OCL Season 4. And we've got a banger starting us out. And a special welcome to Moss, his debut of OCL Season 4. How are you feeling, Moss?
Yeah, good, good. Thank you for that. I'm excited for this match tonight. Should be a good showing between the two sides. Crimson Knights have been practicing quite a lot, but the caliber of Wonderful Day will surely prevail. What do you think about this matchup tonight?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, players from both of these teams have kind of mixed and matched with each other throughout previous seasons. So you would expect them to be a fairly similar match. I think definitely Pi has the upper hand. I think mainly with their jungler and mid laner Sean and Vintage on previous dominant OCL teams. So the expectation there would be they would have the upper hand, but really it's anyone's game. Yeah. Um, Yada coaching through the Knights as we have a look at their roster. Strive and Redacted as their subs, so fully filled in all of their slots. Abs Pro Stoinis, Nexul, Jed9, and Wade. Who do you think would be the real strong points of this team, Moss, or who do you think is the players to watch?
I think any player on this Knights team has a good opportunity to have a good showing. We've seen good performances from Stoinis, and Jed9 will always lead from the front. I think if you can get Jed9 on a good commanding pick where he can lead his team well, kind of supplying Wade with enough space to do what he wants to do, I think their team can actually have some success.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
well, I was just going to say, what about yourself?
Yeah, well, okay. I agree with you. I do agree with you. I think Jed9 is definitely the kind of, I wouldn't say staple of the team, but he's definitely going to be their voice and their main caller. So I think if they get him on a pick he's comfortable with and he's confident with sort of their game plan and the others follow his calls, I think that's really what they're sort of looking at. But we can now have a look at Pi and quickly go through their roster as well. Vemetron, Sean, Vintage, Younglegs, and Theg. No fills, no coaches, but I mean this is a very potent roster. Um, yeah, so Sean Jungle is definitely going to be the standout for me. Vintage as well, but I think Sean is definitely going to be that directing voice in this team. He's definitely got the most experience. He's been on the best teams. Vintage, he's definitely got a lot of experience too, but I think in a mid lane kind of role, probably would be less commanding, I'd imagine, on that team. But yeah, what do you think of this team, Moss? What's
I
things
think it's
standing out?
very strong all across the board. They have good experience in each role. Vintage has a good level of unpredictability with his picks. We've seen him be willing to pull out really anything in the mid lane, which is also always like a nice thing to have in a team. Also, I believe that Vemetron is a very strong force in the solo lane. You've seen he's had some very dominant, some very, very strong performances coming out of solo. So I think it should be an exciting match to watch.
Yeah, and it's funny you touched on some of the picks Vinny likes to bring out because I do agree with you. He is he likes to cook. He likes to cook sometimes. I've seen him on the very standard majors, but I mean, I've played mid against Vinny for some time and he would not shy away from pulling out warriors, hunters, assassins. So I think that's really where they could cause issues for knights could be just the unpredictability of this player in the mid lane as surely we should be able to get into the spectator and have a look at the first game. Um, but yeah, while we're waiting, Moss, do you see this coming as a 3 game or a 2 gamer? Do you reckon the set?
I don't know. I think it could definitely be a two-game set, but you never know. There could be some upsets here and there. I think you could argue that the Pi squad has a stronger chance, but the Knights have been practicing a lot. They have some good team cohesion, and I think it should be a interesting set.
Yeah, I think with the best of three, even though we both agree Pi's definitely got the upper hand, I don't think Knights is much weaker than Pi to see them kind of just getting rolled for 2 games in a row. Like, I could definitely see either team winning here, very easily.
Definitely.
So it looks like Knights taking Order side, Pi taking Chaos side. Um, if you were to guess, what picks do you reckon they would be looking for in their first slot?
It's hard to say. I can see the Knights prioritizing something from solo, perhaps. There's a few solo picks that you don't really need any reason to pick at the moment, so they're kind of nice to take first. But you never know. There could be a Jed Spice pick that he wants first, or perhaps something that they just want to take off the board, so Sean can't get his hands on it. There's quite a few options, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to see what gets banned, which will determine what they want to prioritize. But yeah, I mean, I imagine they'll play fairly familiar things, fairly meta things, Vamana, Bakasura. I've seen Jed playing a lot of mages. He's been a big fan of mages, so maybe like a Nox. He's played a lot of Nox. They're the kind of things I'm imagining. But I mean, as well, the carries on both of these teams, definitely, big names. Well, maybe not so much Flicks, still fairly bit of a newcomer. But I mean, with some of the performances I've seen from both teams, I mean, Seg and Flicks have both had their moments. So yeah, I would say for sure they could be contesting some ADC picks, Rama, Artemis. Not really Artemis. I don't know where Theg sits with Artemis right now. He used to really love that pick. Um, but yeah, Rama, Hachiman as well. Um, yeah, too many to think of. Still waiting on the bands to come though.
I think Wade's definitely had some good showings, but he still has a little bit more to prove before he can be one of the big ADC names like his lane opponent, the Gorus. And that duo lane is going to be pretty potent, I feel,
Yeah,
from Pi.
for sure. I have heard Legs has been still in a kind of an adaptation period, coming back into support from previously playing ADC, and they've still had to kind of work out what kind of picks they're really into. I think he's definitely more of he likes those passive support characters and not so much the aggressive ones. So I think we all know Legs is quite a big Yamoja player. I could see him playing the Kepri as well. That being said, anyway, Circuit first ban.
I believe
Uh,
it's been nerfed slightly. Am I mistaken?
I don't know if that's happened yet or this patch. Honestly, don't ask me anything about the actual game state because my knowledge is probably the same as yours. But you
Yeah, I
know,
think getting Seket off the board is definitely a good option.
yeah, I just don't know if I've if I see these guys playing that kind of pick though. I feel like that's a bit of an autopilot ban. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I think both of these teams have scrimmed a good bit, so maybe they are aware of that circuit. Anyway, Marty banned on the side of Pi, so that would be taking that away from Nuxel. I know Vinny himself loves this Marty pick, so I guess they really don't want to face it either. A
And
Nike band.
the Nike ban, is that a Vematron
I'd
spice
have to
pick?
assume so. I know from a little ways back, and Artemis. Yeah, this looks like some player targeted bans. Um,
Can't go wrong with that
Vematron and Theg.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Triple ADC ban from Pi though. They don't want Flicks to get his hands on anything
Yeah,
he can do
yeah.
damage with.
I do see Flix as definitely being one of the players on Knights who put in a lot of work when he's left unchecked. So They're pretty much the two top hunters for ADC taken away. And we got a Susano first pick.
That's quite interesting. They
Yeah.
may be looking to get it away from Sean, but I've never really thought of my Sasano as a first pick. But
Well, I actually think Lat's a bit of a Susano fan, actually. Um, I've seen him played a few times in scrims, and he's definitely like a very team-oriented god. Well, he's quite versatile. He can easily solo someone down, but his CC is just so good with knights, and there's a Nox and Guan Yu in return.
the Nox is a pretty nice answer to the Sasano,
Yeah.
as well as we know Jed's been favoring the Nox a bit lately, so it's a double-edged sword with that pick, taking it off his hands and getting a good answer for the pressure from the Sasano.
Yep, so that Nox will definitely be going to legs, taking it away from Jed, and Guan Yu 100% going solo, probably still one of the top two solo laners with Hercules, who we haven't seen too much play from. But in response for Mana and Yamoja, kind of responding to that Guan Yu
Tremble
healing.
beneath the waves.
Geez, I don't think I've seen Jed play Yamoja for ages. And for
It's one of his
Mana,
classic picks, no?
yeah, well, yeah, it is. But I'm talking just about this season. I think he's been playing so much of the kind of top meta healers, mages, I should say. Yeah, I haven't seen him play Yem yet, and that Vamana will be going solo. I don't know if he's as strong in solo as he is in jungle.
He can do some damage. He can do some
Yeah,
good stuff, but I think the crit variety of Vamana is pretty strong. It's hard to kind of look away from that.
You have
We
yet
see
yeah.
to see the
Daji
meaning
for
of cruel.
for
Ooh,
Pi. That's a
that's
nice
that's
pick.
classic Sean pick, and it's actually so good into two of their players there. So that's a
Hmm.
really, really good Darji pick. And they've got the Nox already burning beads as well. So this top three has already come very nicely for Pi. You have to wonder, is Susano really a first pick here? I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
sure
not
if he...
sure.
I would have assumed the Knights had a plan going in for their the ban situation and then what they would pick after that, but just off a first glance, Susano just doesn't spring out to me as a first pick kind of character. He's actually more of a nice counter pick character, so
Yeah,
it's
I have to
definitely
agree with you
interesting.
there. Is there anything else you want to see taken off the table here? It looks like there's going to be a fair bit of Hunter prio, but
Yeah, well the carries are left, which you don't usually see. Usually you see the hunter topped in that picked in that top three. So there's a Kononos taken away from Theg. And then in response, Yu Huang, definitely a next will pick. So good thinking there for Pi.
mhm.
Agni.
I could see perhaps Wade looking towards the Izanami. I've seen him
Yeah, I was thinking that.
prioing that. Two
Yeah.
more mid bands coming out from Pi.
Yep.
So
Notably some safe mids who can manage a Darji taken away, which is really starting to limit Nuxel's options here. And yeah, I think Jingwei being hovered.
if you were
This
playing
is
mid
gonna
into a
be
Daji, what
fun.
would you like to a Daji Nox? What would you like to have?
Well, my options are coming pretty limited now. I mean, listen, all right, Moss, I'm on a team and I don't want to give away much tech with what I've been enjoying right now. So, but Morgan definitely would be one of them. Um, oh, I
Definitely.
really
Face the
like
wrath
Morgan
of a
here actually.
sorceress
That's a good
scorned.
response. Morgan kind of underrated, I reckon. I've been having a few games with her. She is feeling it really nice.
We see the Heimdall hover from Flix here. I've seen him take a liking to the Heimdall. He believes the
Face the
build's quite
bitter
strong with the
winds of
pen build at the moment, which I have to
Niflheim!
agree. It feels pretty nice. Um, and the Morgan, yeah, very nice answer for the pressure from the Daji.
Yeah, Heim definitely a deterrent for the Darji. I mean, obviously Darji doesn't really care
I
about
should have
non-static
created a world that
impacts,
you
but
do not
if you
exist
just
in.
send her into the realms, he won't care. And there's a Tiamat. Ooh, vintage Tiamat. I think
I'm not
did
very
I
familiar with
say
the vintage
before?
Tiamat.
Well, I think did I say earlier vintage Tiamat, or did I just say some mages? Because I know vintage Tiamat that's definitely one of his signatures, in my opinion. So not too
Definitely.
surprising for me, and a solid pick here. I think Tiamat you could pretty much pick into any scenario, maybe outside of a team with heavy cripples. But yeah, that's a look at both of our teams there.
Quick shout out to Xenomir for putting the beautiful pick
Yeah, I know.
arrangement together. Very clean.
They looked sick. But now, as we get into game shortly and we have a view of both comps, I'm going to ask you, Moss, ignoring players, which comp do you think is the better comp here?
Honestly, if I was in this game, I'd much prefer to be on the side of the Umoja, on the Umoja Vimana, personally.
Yeah,
What
I could see both of these comps winning, to be honest. I don't
Yeah,
think
definitely.
either comp here has a huge deficit, but if Legs hits these combos, they're in a lot of trouble. I actually might go opposite to you and favor Pie's comp. But anyway, as we're 30 seconds out from getting into this game, I will throw it back to Dice and J Beto, the casters, to take it away.
Thank you very much, Nan, and welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen, to our first game for the OCL round robin here. My name is Dice Hart, and here's Jay Beto as well. Very exciting to have him here for this first cast. Crimson Knights, and
The
it's a
first
wonderful
game
day for
of the
Pi.
season.
It is the first game of the season. Isn't this exciting?
I'm excited.
we haven't dropped off the face of the earth this season, and it's going pretty well so far. We've got some very interesting teams.
Yet.
Yet.
I really like these comps. I'm not gonna lie. I like both teams' comps. I think that both teams have very, very straightforward fights, very obvious fights. And I think they're both equally strong. I think I would have to favor Pie's comp just because of the pick potential that they have with the Guan stun. Actually, them 1 HP from buff there.
got so low there, holy.
Oof. Yeah, rough. That's brutal. Anyway. Yeah.
I would expect Adam to play this really aggressively, but he's not really playing up into Vem here with that Tower
I'd be
Assault,
ordering
much
him.
work. Yeah, good dash damage there though. I guess Vem has a lot of sustain in this lane as well, so I expect that he's still going to outclear Abs and just have a good time poking, but still, I would have thought that Abs might have just been aggressive there and tried to keep this one you pressured out.
Wing Shard Vimana, not for me. But that, you know, anyway, talking about comps again. No, that's not Wing. That's Horn Shard,
Ooh,
sorry.
first blood,
okay.
it was them that managed to pick it up onto Abs there. So...
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna say Horn Shard Vimana, not for me. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's the question. That's I don't know how that happens. Maybe a bit of nerves. Maybe a bit of nerves coming in. Vem's health was in the red walking into lane.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really surprising.
Yeah. I'm just gonna move on from that.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna talk about the comps again.
Sean might be a bit aggressive here.
Blink
Jumping on the
mid.
neutral there, forces the beads out, a knockup coming out from neutral as well, just trying to get underneath his tower with the
Wow.
knockup. Good vintage. Sean claims himself a kill onto neutral. Stoinis here now trying to recover from this one, but isn't able to get it. A nice double knock up there, or pull in, sorry. Just barely not getting him underneath the tower here. Stoinis has to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, great fight there in mid. Identifying, you know, Nuke's a little too far in his tower, and you know, against this team quite good. You know, just in front of your tower is too far up apparently. So, you know,
Yeah.
unfortunately, also loses out on his beads.
Ooh, Stoinis has recovered that kill though. Vintage is going to fall there. Well done by Stoinis. Looks like it was a bit too greedy pushing for those right mid camps there from It's a Wonderful Day for Pi. And that's a really important kill, I think, because...
Yeah, it is.
Ooh,
Okay,
Venom is
okay,
also very low
okay.
health. Jesus. Abs is not going to let him go for free here either. Not going to let this 1U back on the spot there. Will force him to finally back, but has the TP available here as well. Do you think that Vem is okay with the fact that he can kind of just come straight back now?
Yeah, that I would a little scared about if that Vimana 3, I don't know what's called, the boomerang. If that hit, he's dead there because of Warrior's Axe proc. But yeah, I think he just spaces the abilities fire and he TP's back in. He loses like maybe a wave, but he got first blood and he's level 5 now. So I would want to see actually. I want to see him ult like now, before he's before Abs is 5. This is a huge level 5 diff on these gods.
Yeah, I'd like to say that as well. I'm quite surprised that the goal differential is so low here. Obviously,
Yeah.
Stoinis got a very important kill back there, being able to pick up.
Yeah, you can see
know,
that
on
swing
those
back
mid
to
camps there.
about neutral.
Yeah, it is about neutral, despite the fact that that It's a Wonderful Day for Pi did get the first blood themselves. And I guess like Vintage was a really priority target there as well for Stoinis to be able to pick up. It was on the mid camps, which is super important. But still, I would have thought that lead might be a bit further ahead.
Yeah, I really wanted to
Ooh,
see
Stoinis might be in a bit of trouble here. He's on his right mid camps, full in on Itzy Boy Sean, but Sean not here alone. He's on his way around this corner. Stoinis going to throw out that ultimate, but up into the air does go Sean. Beats forced out of Stoinis, should make his way out pretty safely here. Right mids are going to go. It's a Wonderful Day for Pi.
You really can see, yeah, synergy though from Pi, and kind of lack of synergy, I'd say, from Knights. Like, yeah, sure, they trade left mids, but like Vintage and Sean are playing together and they're looking for that kill, and Stoinis is just kind of getting left out to dry by himself. Nuxel just kind of in mid looking for these camps. That's fine, but I guess he doesn't have beads at the time, but it's still pretty rough to just let your jungler walk around getting 2v1.
What do you think about this, Joe, though? We can see that Young Legs is still in this left lane at the moment, just putting pressure onto Wade, so he's not able to step out, and the normally very passive Jingwei that the Gorus is playing is actually able to completely keep this Heimdall on the tower. Do you like this?
I think that's a huge part of it. I think that because Jingwei's like really late game, and you can see her build, she's going for that crit super late game build. Staying there, he's pathing mid now, so just like a couple waves more, helping Flix. Helping Gorez, not Flix, helping Gorez get a bit of pressure on Flix.
Yep.
Getting that first item, as you can see Gorez backing now with the full Devos. That's a big back for him. That's important.
It is a big back, and the fact that he needs passive to get back into lane so quickly as well. He has that Devos, despite the fact that he was splitting waves with Young Legs, he's got that Devos far before Flix is even able to back and get his, or Wade is able to back and get his.
Wade is also going to have to lose a wave here soon, this one or next one, because of the fact that he has no mana and has to back.
Oh, Sean has made a rotation over to the solo lane and picked up the kill onto Abspro. I think
he died with
I
ult
don't
up.
know if Ben was there either. Yeah, Abs dying with ult up there is not ideal.
No, that's criminal.
Did Sean? Oh no, Sean did not either.
No, I don't understand what's going on in that lane.
Aggression onto the Gorus here, a lot coming out.
I think he's fine.
He isn't going to be able to commit to that one. It's kind of rough when one jungler goes to one side of the map and is able to pick up the kill. And the other jungler opts to go to the other side but not able to do anything. Now Sean has his ultimate available. This Powwow could do a lot of work. He's going to rotate into mid here. Although that being said, Rebuke is out 3 members of the Crimson Knights for Young Legs here. Was that a beam coming out from the top? So although an excellent Riptide is going to keep the sapper side of this one, Vintage making the rotation over as well as Sean has jumped the wall and is looking for Nuxel. Ultimate down on the Morgan. She will fall. And now up into the Powwow does go. The Darji forces the beads out of Jed there, but still another kill in favor of It's a Wonderful Day for Pi, but despite the fact that Knights had the aggression at the start of that fight.
You can really see the mental state of Crimson Knights starting this game with the 4 beads pick up, and Vamana 0-2, maybe he needed that beads himself.
Yeah, I mean, he needs
or
to
does
right
need
now.
to it later.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was really well played. Like, Sean was able to position really well around that. I'm not sure. I don't mind targeting the Nox, generally speaking, but because she's got protectors and already has 6 stacks on this prophetic.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah, she is really hard to kill. I think another problem that I'm starting to see with Crimson Knight's draft, not necessarily their draft in general, but into Pi's draft, is who is Susano ganking this game?
Well, it's Fruity Boy Sean at the moment, taking the 1v1 there as Sean.
Ooh.
Still able to get out there.
Look how close he is on his ult as well. Like, if he has ult there, he'll...
It's a big difference there, even Jed trying to rotate into that one. I don't mind that. I don't mind the idea that Stoinis is going for here, wants to take the 1v1 with Sean, rather than trying to gank a lane and produce anything off the back of that.
Yeah.
Because you're right, Tiamat is really hard to kill Jingwei. He would force you back at the very least, but also quite hard to kill.
Yeah, Jingwei is pretty good into Susano, and I would argue so is Guan. You're never really hitting any of your CC on him. If both Jing and Guan have ults, you're never killing them. So it's really difficult for Stoinis to do anything like the Darji's doing this game. The Darji 3-0, got a lot of pressure along the map, and yeah, it's great. Somehow 2 levels down, he's winning the 1v1. I'm not sure how that goes with Darji having ult though.
See a bit of a silence combo coming out from the Nox there.
Oh.
Stoinis trying to... Wow, that was a triple. Was it a triple or a double knock up there? I think it was a double knock up from
They
Thagora.
both went towards them though.
Yeah, it was terrifying. Wade might be in a little bit of trouble here as Sean and Vintage are both making a rotation around here. Stoinis jump Jed in a little bit of trouble. The power has come out from Sean looking for Stoinis here. We'll be able to pick up the beads out of the jungler. Now Jed trapped inside of this one will be silenced. The combo coming out from Nox is good. The Riptide's going to come out, get Jed on the tower. It's not off though. Young Legs firing off that Nox ultimate will pick it up 5-1 for its one.
Okay, Daji Nox is disgusting. Good secure from Abs. That is a crucial buff secure there. But yeah, Daji, that's death.
Nuxel forced to use his ultimate under that T1 tower as well. That could be enough for an objective to go down here, I think. The fact that
Oh, by the way, I want to just remember how we were talking about Leg staying in lane just to help Goris get. Look at his stacks on Devos, by the way. Compared to Wade's.
Well far ahead of Wade's right now.
And that's the impact that has had. He got his items so much earlier. Fine, they're even in levels, but that's really important.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, he can take that 1v1 now, and also it's very hard to gank Jed once again being trapped in that Nox
full Xe as well.
And it's just being completely poked out by this Tiamat. This is an opportunity here potentially for Pi to put themselves in a position to go for gold.
Yeah, they could be waiting for this Daji ult to come back up. Susano, no beads. They have to know that that's down. Walking over a wall here, just securing the shield buff. Good macro so far from Crimson Knights, keeping themselves relatively in this game. Unfortunate, like 2.5k gold deficit, but playing quite well despite the deficit. I think that this Guard is going to be a problem. Dice.
Yeah, look.
I think that's. Is it 2 levels up? Can we go back to?
This is a big rotation though. It's
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's pretty
everybody's
brutal.
over in this duo lane right now. Sean in the area. He's just gonna opt to back though. I would have thought that a Gold Fury would have been started by now better.
Yeah, I think I don't hate that they're waiting for Daji. I feel like they're waiting for Daji ult. I feel like that's the go button. That's going to be impactful. You know, if they do know the second that Susano Beads is down, Daji ult is up now. They could be going for it in the next 50 seconds, but it's risky.
I would have liked the idea of just everybody being grouped on Pi over at that Gold Fury as soon as Daji ult was up. Looks like Feg and Legs are here at the moment. They've started up the Gold Fury, maybe picking out the Wade is back in here and rotating this one. It's going to be a big rotation out. Well, Gold Fury already down to half health and nobody decided to make a rotation with this. I think they've decided to give it up.
I think that Daji ult makes enough of a scare.
Yeah, it's a big threat.
Owning so far away, there's nothing they can do. I'm not quite sure if they get this pyro. If Vem decides that he wants to play the game and not just box Abs in lane, which is probably not what he should be doing at this point for against the Vamana. He rotates here.
Opportunity here, Jed's in a good position to look for Sean, but Sean can give you that aggressively. A little bit of damage out, but Nuxel firing off on all cylinders here as up into the power does go. The boy Sean a lot of damage onto Jed though. In a lot of trouble here as the aggression still coming out, but Nuxel turns it around onto Vision and a chase down from Stoinis as well. Up into Niflheim goes one. Wade doing a lot of work there, but Vemitron has decided to play the game. Wade picks up the kill onto Young Legs. Vem down to half health. Pyromancer can be started up now by the Knights. In fact, Abs was already tanking it up there. Vemitron is in the area, has capital recharge as well, so might be able to fire off here. Stoinis doing his best. Zone away, falls down so low though. Crimson Knights pick up the pyro and now need to find a way out as Sean and Vem are on the chase here. Might be able to find Wade. TP's the wrong way, and now in a lot of trouble as the cavalry charge comes out and Sean is going to clean him up. That's not what you want to see at all.
Oh no!
Yikes. Yikes.
No, I've got to give that play honestly to Abs. Kind of getting shafted in lane a bit. Has a really good rotation, and Vem.
Did we lose Jay Better? I think we lost Jay Better. Anyway, what a fight as Sean has made a rotation over towards this solo lane side of the map. Abs should be able to safely back, and Sean's going to channel his own back here. I would say that it's just going to remain a 1v1 on this right side of the map, although Stoinis has made a rotation over. Vemitron kind of low health here and doesn't have that cavalry charge up at the moment. Walking back towards his tower, not sure if Stoinis has spotted out. The blue buffs are up, so maybe that's what's going on here. As Stoinis aggressing up into that blue buff territory, looking for Vemitron on it. He's going to have cavalry charge back up soon. Stoinis looking for that ball, won't be able to find it. Vemitron has a 3-level lead over Stoinis and will lose that blue buff, actually stolen away there by Stoinis, so well played. Sean though makes a rotation back over onto this side of the map as both teams are going to chill out a little bit. No objectives up at the moment, but maybe Nuxel and Jed are looking for something. It's a bit of a rough position to be in. Rivers Rebuke is up, and that's going to be really helpful into this position right now as well. Might be able to find something on this stage though. Looks out of position, has to use that riptide. Well played. We'll get him outside of Nox's combo range there. Very potent ability to have. Jed though starting to fall a little bit behind, has about 2 level deficit there between himself and Legs, and Legs is also double stacking, so not only is he 2 levels up, he's also quite ahead on the field here, and that makes it very tame.
Sorry about that. I kicked my Wi-Fi and it disconnected. So I'm back.
Nice, man.
Anyway, I'm going to go back to what I was saying. I don't care about what you were just talking about for the last 45 seconds. I think that, yeah, Abs had a really, really good rotation over, and Vem did make the rotation, and it did make a difference. But I think that Abs having that early rotation, and it's impactful. You know, having a Vamana with ult there, it is big. I do still think that this Guan 2 levels up is going to be a huge problem. He probably has enough gold in hand right now to build towards a magical protection item. I'm hoping that it's either a Genji's, maybe a Hard with this game.
Down to half health already. So much poke coming out from Sean and Vintage combo.
And yeah, I think once that happens, he's got TP up now. I think this Gold Fury, this Guan is going to run this fight. He is so fed. So
I'll be honest, I don't think there's going to be a fight at this Gold Fury. I think Pi are going to pull this and Knights can't show up. Wade is currently 3 levels down onto Gorus. There's no way he's stepping up to this Gold
he has a
Fury.
bomb though. He has a bomb. And maybe he'll TP in again.
Wait, why did Wade pick up the bomb? What?
Sorry,
Why?
he's putting the team on his back.
After throwing with that teleport earlier? Nukes
Whoa,
all
whoa,
over,
whoa,
one little
whoa,
damage
whoa,
on the
whoa.
young leg. Sean's surrounded by 3 though, won't be able to get pulled there, sorry, but the Powwow is going to come out, might be able to force a beads if he doesn't die here. Jed on that pull by the looks of, will be chased down by 26. Great silence coming out of young leg, not enough for Sean. He's going to fall. Gold Fury has been started up by Pi here, but it looks like
This could
Knights
be
are
a
going
fire.
to give that one up. Will it be the Fire Giant though? They're sticking around this fight here, maybe looking for Pyro. 2 bombs and a Fire Giant, that's potent. I like 2 bombs, a dream, and a Fire Giant here. If you pick up
I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer.
I'm also a dreamer, as pro, zoning very far away here on the rest of the team tonight. Walk into this right side lane, maybe looking for the tower right now. Jed, not a lot of Omi as the rest of it's what of the David Pyre chasing down here. Abs and Jed still being chased down, and Abs is going to get stunned out here, falls into the big baby form, and it's not going to be enough. He falls there, Vintage able to pick up enough damage onto Abs there, and I think just zoning a little bit too far away. Knights were able to pick up the right side tower, now Vem's not underneath the right side tower here. He's going to be trapped in that really big, beautiful ultimate from Jed there. Will be able to secure the kill for himself onto Vem Beast though. Forced out there, I believe, onto Stoinis, so that's a big loss as well. But that's a good trade and a nice tower there for Knights, although this Pyromancer very likely to go in favour of Pi right now. It's been started up by Theg and Sean. The only person here to stop this is Jed. Bit risky here as Pyro falls down to nearly no health at all and will go down to 5.
I do really, really like the relic situation right now for Pi. I love the Sunder on Vem. I think someone's got to get it, and I'm totally fine with it being him. I think that the fact that it's upgraded is really big. I like the Ankh. I like the Horrific. I like all of it. Horrific into Susano feels pretty awful. Horrific into Morgana feels pretty awful for those two. I really like the situation, and on the side of Crimson Knights, you know, it's rough. We've got a Beads on the side of Amana, that's not a teamfight relic. We've got a Beads on the side of Yamoja, that's not a teamfight relic. And he's gonna back and get a second relic here. And I'm thinking it could be a lot of things. It could be you know, a Sunder himself, it could be Horrific. But I think that, you know, the fact that they forced out 2 Beads.
Rotation to this left side of the map is going to blink, looking for Jed here. Riptide is going to do a lot of work away, taking some damage, going to be able to knock him up, and then use that TP to pull away here. The Powwow is good to beat the better. Wade able to make his way out of this one. Vintage has made a rotation, won't be able to find anything off it though. Very close though, as Wade is down to 1 health right now.
I do also want to point out the Yamoja Cronus Pendant second item. What do you think about this? What do you think about the build difference right now? He does have a Lotus Sickle, so we'll say even in items roughly. Have a look at the builds between the two. Lotus Sickle did just get nerfed in the current patch.
Yeah,
So,
look,
but Legs' build is slow, and
Legs'
it's not going to be up for a while. Gorish bought a full Deathbringer from 0, by the way.
In fairness, yeah, he did. That's ridiculous. There's gonna be a rotation over the as well.
This is a bit of a complaint I'll make, and a bit of analysis too while we wait for this Fire Giant to potentially go down. Gorus being level 19 is kind of stressful for your team. If somebody is able to kill him, if Wade gets the last hit, if Nuxel gets the last hit, you're getting like a level / 2 levels and like 1,000 gold because of how potent the shutdown mechanics are right now. I just like that, but that's what it is. So Gorus needs to be as safe as ever.
Has made an engage onto Nukes. Meantime, Fire Giant down to a quarter health. Demetron, great use of cavalry charge to just completely shut down Squidus here. Throw it off, but it's not enough. On top of the Fire Giant, is it going to be enough to steal? Yes! The Knight's able to take that one away. Abs up into the big baby form as well. Just ripping through the back line of Pi here. Abs, though, might need to find a way out of this one.
Let him
Likely
die.
to throw
Let
his
him die.
knife away in order to steal away that Fire Giant. Stoinus and Jed on the way
Nice,
out.
they're gonna catch them.
Sean goes in, the powwow. He's able to find the beads out of Stoinus and Jed, but they've survived that one and pick up that Fire Giant for themselves. Wade does an excellent job pushing up a lane as well, and now rotating towards this Gold Fury. This is really smart map play out of the Knights. They stole Fire Giant, they're on Gold Fury side of the map. Pi depends on what they do here. But
That is absolutely game-changing. Oni Fury up right now. Abs dies. I don't care. If I'm him, I'm screaming. I'm so happy. Like, I don't care dying 1v5 for my team to steal Fire Giant in a do or die situation. It's a pretty even game right now. Fire Giant puts you in this game in the driver's seat now. It's not like a 45-minute steal where you just stall out for another 10 minutes. No, this is driver's seat.
well, they're not playing like they're in the driver's seat. It's going to be Pi starting up this Oni Fury, and I don't see anyone from Knights close enough to do anything about it. No, Pi steals Fury, although positioning advantage here for the Knights. Jed doing a good job baiting for the two dashes out, sorry, Young Legs and Abs, sorry, and Vemitron. Vemitron's already used that cavalry charge as well, so this is an excellent position potentially for the Knights here. They've got corners available to get a roof.
There's no Yamojo right now, though. That would have been so perfect. I
Right,
was waiting
that's
for it to come out, but
also
still
what I
down.
was waiting for, yeah. Fire Giant though on 4 members here for the Knights. They have an opportunity. This mid-team on tower is half health combo already used there by Young Legs. It is going to
Jojo
burn a
back
little
up.
bit of health off of Jed Knight. And you're right, that Ruzy Peak is available. This is a good opportunity to try to find somebody. And there it goes, looking for Tagoras there. But Jed already down to very low health. Vemitron being aggressed on here is going to take a lot of damage. Healing's coming out. Stoinus goes in, looking for Vemitron, and he's able to pick him up. Blink out from Sean. Looking now for Stoinus. The reverse kill has potential to come out here. Although the healing is quite potent there from Jed 9. It is going to be pulling to Stoinus, but whether or not his team will save his life here is going to be the big question. Down comes Sean, and Stoinus will survive. Sean going to Nuxel. Now the mid tower going to be aggressed on here. The Chorus and Young Legs in the area, but have to find their way out of here. 5 members of the Knights walk in, take the T1 tower, and J-Med over there looking for more. Stoinus goes in and finds a 2-man pull. We'll be able to pick up the Chorus, and now Young Legs, the target of the aggression as Abspro goes in. T2 tower in a little trouble. Abs healed up and survives that tower shot just barely as the T2 falls, and Knights are going to take their victory and walk away.
Chad's pro zoning 4 people by himself, doesn't even get below half HP while his team killed both the frontline dive on the side of Pi. Excellent team fight from Crimson Knight so far, and now they are in the lead. Oni Fury did go down, and the wave has been pushed up in favor of Pi and the duo side, and solo side actually. Both of them are pushed, but I think this is going to be pretty, you know, step off, just, you know, put the brake on a little bit for a second. Because I don't think,
pedal a bit. I like
I don't think, I don't want to see a handbrake on. I just want to see, you know, you driving through a school zone, right? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not allowed to say the joke I was going to make. Never mind. Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I think that now is the time to not overcommit. I like what Knights have been doing though. They've been waiting for members of Pi to step out of position. In that last fight, it was Vemitron stepping up a little bit too far, being poked, and then Stoinus just absolutely ripped it and targeted him out there, and then trusted that his team would keep him alive off the back of it. And so if the Knights start overextending, it's not going to work like that. They need to wait for Pi to overextend here, and I mean, it's worked for them so far.
Yeah, I don't know, I feel like this fire could go either way. Now, it is a completely even state. There's no gold different at this point. You know, 1,000-ish gold at 22 minutes doesn't really mean that much. It's, you know, it's 500 here, it's 150 to that person, you know. Hunter builds, basically the exact, actually they are exactly the same right now. Solo builds also the exact same. As it looks like we're going into a pause.
Yeah, bit of a pause here. Hunter builds are very similar, although we are going to see dominance coming out here for Wade as opposed to the Deathbringer.
Yeah, but we do have a
Chorus
2-level lead in both jungle and mid. A level back in solo, but I think that makes a lot of difference. Stoinus was doing a lot that fight anyway, And
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah,
2 levels up now.
2 levels up now is
If
absolutely
you had a
huge.
starter, I would say that it's a convincing diff for Crimson Knights as we are jumping back into game. The pause is over, so nothing much has happened since. Just going back and forth through Fire Giant a bit, dancing back and forth.
I think
But-
that in this fire giant position that you've got, Sean kind of doing the smart thing. He's trying to get a little bit of farm in mid, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to be catching up to Stoinis.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm Stoinis, honestly, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just like, hey guys, we can bait this, but like, if I get my starter, we just win.
Yeah.
Like this protector right here is going to be so big for winning this 1v1, for making, like forcing duels, like just jumping in and ulting, like the protection that you get, the extra power that you're going to get is so impactful. And honestly, Sean pushing mid like this is making Knights look a bit flustered.
Oh,
The emotional
there's the
down.
Rivers of Youth,
Yes.
so it's not going to find anyone, but a great rip right off the back of it. He's going to lock in a few members of this wonderful day from Fire. Abpro doing his best to get to the backline here alongside Stoinis as the Jaegers popped and knockups are coming through. Vintage Cow in a little bit of trouble, but in the backline is it's your boy Sean, and he's ripping through the parallels coming up, and he's looking for pulls here. B's out on so many members of Knights here. And it looks like the Knights are going to have to back off. They did force Pie all the way back to their base, but that means that they have to walk all the way back to the Fire Giant themselves. Abs backing in a bit of a strange position here as Younglegs and Zagoras are stepping up. This is an opportunity to take a fight, not to keep backing here as Younglegs was down to half health for Abs. He's going to return to base, maybe TPing back in, and Stoinis is in a lot of trouble here, taking the 1v1 Zagoras, healing coming out from Jet 9, and the... Oh, Wade, he's able to find the ultimate out. 1 health is Younglegs survives though. Wade able to find it off the back of a big pussy boy. Sean is deep in the backline, lagging a little bit by the looks of it though. Here. Lagging a lot. The Riptide is going to come out. Get Sean in. I think he lagged into that one of the brothers. Wade finds himself a triple kill. Vintage Cow gets the counter kill onto Nukes on Thegoras. He's able to find Stoinis. Abpro trying to chase down Thegoras as Wade is looking for Vintage here. Jed able to find his way around the back here potentially. Thegoras 1 health isn't going to be found here by Ab. Yes, he will. Jed now turning his attention towards Thegoras. The auto attack's doing a lot of work here, but Jed is gonna fall now. Thegoras is absolutely positioning like a madman, trying to take these 1v2s right now. Pi, despite the fact that their jungler lagged out completely there, actually got the advantage in that fight.
Honestly, like Goris is I don't know if it's just the fact that Jingwei's autos are quiet, but is a silent just assassin. I was not focused at him at all. I was looking at Vintage and mid, and then all of a sudden, you know, Goris is 3-1. I don't remember when that happened.
Yeah, I think what Knights did wrong there, other than the fact that they killed someone who was lagging their brains out.
He was walking into a wall.
Yeah,
Guys,
bro.
this is our opportunity.
But potentially what that team fight could have used is maybe just, you know, the start of it was fantastic. The end of it involved quite a few people chasing in different directions there.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
If Stoinis, you know, Stoinis ended up by himself, Abs ended up by himself, Wade kind of was near Jed, but Jed wasn't really positioned to heal anybody that really needed it.
Yeah.
So, dashing from Younglegs trying to steal away this Pyromancer will be confirmed there by the Crimson Knight, but the Goris is just ripping health bars now. This crit is making a huge difference.
Yeah, the no
Lex is able to
spectral
lock
right
them.
now, that is a awful situation to be in. You know, it happens, you know, he's got no crit items until like 5 minutes ago. And, you know, there's no point in building it before he's got crit, and now he does, but all of a sudden he has like 70% crit.
Fire Giant well for here in favor of this one. Wade just trying to make his way out here with that teleport. We'll be able to get back towards this mid lane, but now Pi have the Fire Giant on hand, and it's gone from Knights in the driver's seat after those last few fights and getting that last Fire Giant to Pi pushing down this right side T2 tower, and Knights are honestly not grouped enough to defend this right now. If Pi push for Phoenix, they could get it pretty easily, I think.
It looks like they're just playing the conservative route, looking probably, I would say, the safer play to start off with is to have all of the waves shoved. The fact that mid is so far pushed is definitely impactful. You know, Stoinis on his own can definitely be soloing a mid Phoenix with the bomb on Wade too, with his TP potential. Like that's scary. You want these waves shoved up. Is what they're going to be doing here. They're going to be pushing up mid. They're going to hopefully be splitting for these last 2 towers, because you don't have to go for a Phoenix here. If the opportunity presents itself, you definitely can. But I don't want to see them rush a Phoenix. I think that this game still hangs in the balance. This is an incredibly close game, and if they get decided here, or even if they die too late and then they're not up for Fire Giant, it's Knights, you know,
Yeah,
back in
absolutely.
control.
I like picking up the Primal Fury
Oh, Abs
there.
isn't going Spectral.
Is not going Spectral. That honestly could make
That
all
might
the
lose them the game.
difference.
That actually might lose them the game.
I have to agree. I would love to see Jed at least pick up a Spectral at the end of this game here.
I think it's too late. I think that this. I actually go for a Phoenix now. Once
If
if
it's going to
I
come
see
out,
that,
but it's not going to find anyone. That would have been such a good position to get them trapped in.
unlucky. Yeah, if I'm on Pi and I see that Abs didn't get Spectral and that he will not have it anywhere near, like I'd be selling my Golden Blade for Spectral here. It's that important for the fight. I would just be walking in, and they are looking for a Phoenix here. They're looking for a nice 2-3 split.
That's honestly threat that probably prevented the push from coming through. Wade is going to be smoked out a little bit there. Now that that Reservoir is down, it's a much easier push in here for wonderful
And
Base 5.
you're not worried about that coming up. Yeah, you're not worried about that coming up either. No Phantom on the side of Pi either. So you're absolutely right. If that River's Rebuke is up, it's a it's a hard red light right there. But down, it's full green light. Won't be back up for a long time too.
That's tricky here. It's been smoked out a little bit though for having a press in. Phoenix on the left side already down to 4 health, 1 health, completely corner as that press meta rotation back in. Vintage diving aggressively in, the healing is coming out. It's push on, won't be able to find anyone here. A lot of half health bars here. Soinus falls back into the well, Wade being chased down. Abs Pro up in that big baby is able to do a lot of work. Jed 9 Rivers Rebuke back out though. Now the cooldown build is making a little bit more sense and able to provide a little bit more security for his team. Still though, not able to find anyone as Pi are going to back off. They might stay for the mid Phoenix, but I think they're going to back off, reset and go to Fire Giant here.
I think if they had longer on fire, fire literally ticked off just as I started that sentence. If they had another 45 seconds of fire, that's it. One healing plus fire sustain, they probably could look for a mid Phoenix, maybe. Like I'm not saying that you should, but they could look for it. But if that fire's done, which is a perfect time for them to get a late Phoenix too, because when I said if they die late, it's rough for the fire. They were not dying there. They were never even close to dying.
Yeah.
Now you've got a late Phoenix, which means that it's nowhere near to spawn. That wave is going to slowly start shoving, and fires up in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
And it's going to be EFG. This is going to be an EFG.
It is going to be an AFG, and Knight's going to be forced into a decision here. They are sending Abs all ready to go and deal with this wave, but it means that they just don't have the presence at this Fire Giant as it's spawning to get this vision and that. There's potential that they're just going to go for a steal. Maybe that's what it looks like they're doing. Abs is going to keep split pushing left. It's a rough position to be in though if you're nice right now.
Yeah, honestly, like this is not a BM thing to say. I would just keep Abs in duo. I don't even rotate to the fight. I can't stress how big a deal the fact that he doesn't have Spectral is. It's like the game's over. I don't think there is a way that you can team fight properly, because before you're like, oh, the Vamana's crazy, he's really OP, he's really good at zoning, but you get sundered and you're gone in 3 autos.
Is out, but there's the Pale out once more. Jed might just be pulled in here as Ventron makes his way into the backline, but that cavalry charge into the backline does go all Wade, able to find a kill. Thegoris trades out Abs Pro there, who did TP into the Fire Giant, although Vintage very low inside the Fire Giant pit. Thegoris not able to stay inside of this one either if you boy Sean have found Wade in the backline, he's going to be able to pick him up. So he's trying to take the fight. He's going to knock Vinny off the map though. Jed 9 1 health. Thegoris falls to the Fire Giant. Now into the backline does go Stoinus. Jed 9 able to pick up the kill onto Sean. Younglegs, the only member of Pi left on the map, who's going to be chased down here, but Stoinus nukes Jed 9. No need to chase anymore. Go to the Fire Giant, boys. This is your opportunity.
I'm
Stoinus
speechless.
Still chasing
I don't have any analysis for that. I don't have any analysis for that fight.
Stoinus is still chasing Younglegs.
Yeah, I still.
Ask me what Stoinus is doing. Ask me.
Guys,
Say,
what is Stoinus doing?
He's still chasing Younglegs back towards the Fire Giant pit.
Could this have been a fire at some point? Maybe, potentially, guys. Could we have
Still,
pulled fire here?
We still could be pulling Fire Giant as left side Firemen is pushing into the Crimson Knights base and they're backing him in.
Your Titan is under attack.
That was, I think that was the way back in here for the Knights. They
Yeah,
got a little bit lucky that Thegoris died to the Fire Giant there. I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Goris
Exactly
dies
what
to
he was
fire,
doing.
and like I said, Abs gets 3 shot with no Sunder. By the way, Vem hasn't hit Sunder on Abs once yet.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to. He's got it for someone else apparently. But yeah, Abs still
I
dies in 3 orders, and then Vem's just like, don't worry guys, I'll make it an even playing field by cavalry charging into 5 people and killing myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like Abs is dying very quickly, but so is Vem, and that actually made a huge difference there. It gave Wade the positioning that he needed. It kind of wasted a lot of time out of Sean as well, which gave Stoinis the opportunity he needed. Like it was well done by the Knights there, but chasing down the support instead of just going to the Fire Giant using your Moja heals to secure that one, even backing and coming back to Fire would have been fine. Now, Fire Giant once again started up by Pi because they've been given a free opportunity to do it again. Vintage has taken a little bit of a poke here as the Rivers Beak is going to come out once more, looking to trap Young Legs inside of the one Jet. Poke down a little bit into, oh Jesus, into the back line goes Sean and has already found Wave. Vintage credited with that kill. Nukes a little bit of trouble. It's Towler doing a lot of work. Vintage taking the 1v1. Will be able to pick up Nukes or one kill. Finally goes the way of Crimson Knights. Jet and Abs doing their best to fight inside of their own backline here. Vintage and them doing an excellent job diving the backline as Vintage has found himself a triple kill. Quadra kill for Vintage 4. Looking now for Stoinis, who is not going to be locked down here by Young Legs. Vintage won't be able to find himself a penta, but that fight goes the way of Pi, and they're very likely to end this game here.
Is this going to be a run it down at end situation? Or is it going to be a Stoinis 1v4 clutch?
Vintage is very low. That's what I think.
Okay, the
But
thing is
he's
about it,
also
I don't know if
aware
this is
of
an
what
end.
Stoinis
I actually
is.
don't think this is an end.
I'm
like-
pretty confident this is an end.
Okay. That Phoenix went down really quickly. Never mind.
Yeah.
I changed my mind.
Yeah. Stoinis, maybe he can find his way into the backline looking for Vintage now here. Fight has been started up. Very,
He's
very
gonna have to get in there eventually.
Right now the bomb is down and Stoinis has gone into the backline, isn't able to find Vintage in Titan though, which means this Titan has fallen ever lower on health into the Titan.
Good zone
Titan,
from them there.
never mind. Crimson Knights have fallen for this first game. Pi take the game, but that was not necessarily
No,
Pi's win.
that was very, very close.
That was very close, and I think that Knights kind of shot themselves in the foot there from a very, very winning position.
Yeah, I agree. I think that both teams had quite a few interesting things that could have cost them the game. Their mistakes wasn't the cleanest. I think the early game was quite clean.
Mhm.
But I don't. That late game was pretty rough from both teams.
Well, Jay, Beto, I think what we will do is throw it on over to our desk.
Legs got all his prophetic stacks. That's
Legs did he did do that. Nana Moss, take it away, boys.
Wow. That was a close game. It was very back and forth actually. Those fights at the end got very, very interesting. But I mean, you'd have to say it just came down to those fights and some of the decisions made at the end there. I think both teams were in a position to win there. And probably just made the wrong decisions in the moment. And it ended up being Pi on top. What are your thoughts, Moss?
It looked like from the beginning, the Pi was on a very strong foot. Sean looked like he was experiencing quite a lot of lag. The foot came off the pedal. It could have something to do with that. The Emoja was popping off early, but it looked like in those last fights there, Jed was almost too eager to look for the Emoja ult, especially in that very last deciding fight. He was very eager to find the Emoja ult and left his backline for dead, really, which is quite unfortunate because that game was being very topsy-turvy, and it would have been interesting to see what would have happened if Jed was with his backline as they were getting dove by the Tiamat and Daji.
Yeah, for sure. I think even though Sean was lagging, he did a really good job of having this presence in fights, and even not in fights, just showing presence in the jungle, scaring the carries, forcing beads so much. He's still definitely put in so much work, and I mean, Thagan Vintage just fought so well as well. Like, look how much damage Vintage did. It's just insane how much they were enabled, and on the other hand, the carries for Knights just could not match that at all. I think Abs Pro, yeah, did shoot himself in the foot a little bit, not getting the spectrals there. He started to die very, very quickly in fights. And I think Lath had a pretty good game overall. I think in the later stages of the game, he started to lose his footing a bit in fights. And definitely a lot of the fights for Knights became quite split. Yeah, that's pretty much my main comments on that one. But we'll be ready to get into picks and bans for game 2 very shortly, and I believe it'll be Knights first pick again. So they're electing to go first pick. I I mean, the Susano looked good, even though I felt like it wasn't going to be a great first pick. What kind of changes are you expecting to see for drafts next game, Moss?
Well, yeah, I was also quite impressed with the Sasano. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I wouldn't be surprised if they look to take a different direction in solo, perhaps. Vem seems to run it down on the Guan Yu whenever he's given the chance. So if your solo pick isn't working in the Vimana, it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe look at changing that up, taking him off that, giving Abs the Guan Yu, because we all know that Abs can rock the Guan Yu also. So I think that could be maybe a good first step. Also, maybe looking at the support matchup, taking the Nox. We know Jed likes it, and so much space control from that draft. So yeah, it could be another direction to look.
Yeah, I don't. I think they should go for a different first pick here. I liked the Susano and Yem, uh, but I think they gave up. Like, I guess Nox would have been a really nice one for Jed, because he's been practicing it a lot and definitely shuts down a lot of picks as well. But anyway, getting into picks and bans shortly, and we'll have a look to see what ends up getting first banned, if it's the same as last game or if they've changed it up at all.
I think the bans from both teams, they're just looking at kind of targeting what's strong. I think the bans were solid for the last game. I don't really see too much changing, but you never know.
Just working out in chat. Just keep talking for a second, Moxie. How about here? I'll pose this question to you. Oh, as we are getting into bans, I was just gonna say, do you think, or what do you think Pi would change about their last draft? Because, I mean, they won the game, but do you think they would literally just pick the same stuff if it's all available, or
Well,
do you
I
think they
don't.
would change it all?
Yeah, I don't really see any need for them to change. They had their lead. They might have lost it a tiny bit, but they still, with their comp, managed to bring it back. The execution was perfectly fine. If they're going to be prioritizing a Sasano again, the Nox was a good answer to that. In that, like in the siege there, if Sasano is trying to do anything, oh sorry, when they were killing the Titan, Sasano is trying to do anything, Legs can just place a silence on his backline and kind of laugh. What more can you ask for into Sasano?
Well, already, if it wasn't for that number one there, next to Wonderful Day of Pi, I would think we're spectating game one because I think we've had an exactly identical draft so far for the bans. I'm interested to see if this will be the same for the picks. And there's Susano.
Salty run back.
Is there much to talk about if we've already broken down this for the
Well,
first game? I mean, there's the
I
Nox
was
in
impressed.
response.
I was impressed with Lath on the Sasano. I wasn't. I was kind of skeptical, but he did some work.
Say my name 3 times fast.
Well, there's a
and I'll
Hercules,
punch you
so
in the face.
thank God we've seen one change there. I'm interested to know the reasoning behind that, whether they felt like the Guan wasn't great, whether Ven just is bored of it and wants to play something different. It is giving Knights the Guan Yu, as I'm seeing it hovered over
Our
there.
deed
I
shall be
just don't
written
know,
in legend.
who do you value more, a Guan Yu or a Herc?
Tremble
Moss?
beneath the waves.
They both offer different things. Herc is still very strong. He can still do so much damage, being full tank for some reason. He's got such good
This is gonna
backline
be
control.
fun.
So yeah, I would personally value the Herc, but Guan Yu's still very potent. The ability to get on your horse and ride through the backline, stun 4 people, it's kind of nice. Oh, and the sustain.
Well, we have now seen that Guan Yu is replacing Vamana for this night's draft, and I'm already much happier about that. I think the God offers so much
Definitely.
more in terms of utility and pressure early on. And in response, Jing Wei, again, I guess it makes sense. It's nice into the Umoja. It works for them last game. Theg's comfortable on it, even though I'm pretty sure he hates playing the god because it's
He
not
was
really a
so
lane
farmed as
boxer.
well. I
Yeah,
think he was like 20 at 19.
he was like he was like 3 levels up on the enemy on Flicks, and he'd done about 1400 damage. I don't even know how far into the game, 15 minutes, and then he did start hitting when he got that build online. So the pick makes sense for me. Fenriban, 4 knights. That would be from Sean then, I'm guessing, and they must not want to verse it at all. The Darji, that makes more sense. I think that's one of Sean's top picks, along with the Bat. And in response for Pi, the Kononos, and the Yuhuang, again, fairly standard, fairly expected. Rama, Hachi, and Kern seem to be the top ADCs there.
And as knights, you've got a pretty solid core three there. So why not just take away some jungle picks? You don't want to you don't want to face things that you think Sean can be dangerous on. I like the Guan Yu and the Yamoja for their team fight. The sustain's very nice. So it's
Yeah,
a
and I
step
think,
in the right direction.
yeah. Um, And also with that Darji being banned, I was just thinking about how the Knights still have a mid to pick, and honestly, like whenever you're facing against the Darji, you feel so limited in your options. And now that they don't have to worry about a Darji being picked, I think we're gonna see Nexel on something much more comfortable and a strong pick that maybe isn't gonna get farmed by a Darji. Zhongqi
Yeah,
for Vinny. Now that
that's
is spicy.
spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see how it combos too well into their team. I mean, I guess he can get a combo off Nox's single target CC. I
I
feel
see it
like,
as you guys want a team fight. I'm gonna
yeah.
play Zhong Kui and just press 4, and you can team fight around me and try and deal with it.
Yeah, he's nice if your team's got like a lot of area control, or if you feel like you're gonna get ran at, he can turn really well.
Face the wrath of a
But
sorceress
it does
scorned.
feel a bit out of place in their comp if you're just trying to look at how the gods kind of mesh with each other. Morgan in response, I would have liked to see something different here. There's so many mages available. There's Agni, there's Merlin, there's Tiamat. Like,
Hmm.
there's so many mages available. I don't know why the Morgan's still picked here. That's really strange.
I would have much preferred to see an Agni for Nuxel, yeah, anything.
Face the
The
bitter
Morgan was
winds
good,
of
but there's so many. I think
Niflheim!
there's so much more value he could get out of like a different pick.
And again for Heim, like I don't understand why you wouldn't try something a bit different. They have nearly an identical comp. They have an identical comp except for Guan Yu. And if you've just taken a loss, like I get the game was kind of close, right? Last game. It wasn't a stomp or anything. So maybe it wasn't the comp's fault, but I would still be trying something different here, especially if you've got other gods in the locker. Like you may as well give it a go. It's a best of 3. But
That is
yeah.
true. I think the Heim is kind of nice for the Zhong if you are kind of. I don't think they'll really be facing each other directly in the team fights, but you can ult that Zhong out of the fight if you need.
Yeah, if the Zhong does have his beads up and uses it, well, that Heim is very dead though.
Yes.
Cab for legs. I have seen a bit of legs cab actually. I can't remember if it's one of his comfort picks
Would
or
that be
not.
a Sean cab?
Oh, yep. You're correct. I completely forgot they had that Nox there. You'd think it have to be unless Sean is on the Herc. Okay, I'm not
What value
convinced.
does a Cabrakan bring to a
I'm not
draft?
convinced. It's still not locked in. I don't know if I'm convinced it's being picked. This might
There's
just be a
no
for
way
fun pick. There
out!
it is. Maybe it's like, I don't know, is it a good god if you're lagging? That could be
I
what
don't know. You
Sean's
can chuck your
factoring in.
4 down. You can get a
Yeah.
Herc Boulder in there. Something will happen.
Well, there's a bit of a wombo combo there, Cabin Sean. I mean, not Sean, Zhong. I guess, cage them in, then kill them.
Hmm.
It stops the Morgan, stops the Heim. Not real. None of them can really get out of it. So I guess a Wall God is fine. But to me, this is just Sean having fun. Unless he's been trialing this and feels like this god's got a lot of potential. But yeah, how do you rate each comp? What one are you favoring, Moss?
Well, I think that the Knights comp has improved a lot just from changing that one pick. It is pretty much identical to what it was last time, but I think the Vamana was where they had the least value. So I think the Knights have got a lot better of a comp, and the Pi comp is still interesting. I think they will just be punishing anyone they find out of position. If Jed's looking to push up to try and get those Rivers Rebukes, I think they might just pick him.
Yeah, I think they're gonna struggle killing this Zhong, to be honest. Like, he's got a lot of natural tankiness, and if he builds any kind of defense on top of that, like, I don't. Morgan's not really God that bursts down tanks like that. And I mean, Heim, sure, like, there's the ult, but I don't know. I wish the Knights just picked something different, like one or two other different picks.
You have to speak to coach.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would not. Maybe this is Chat GP. What's it called? GPT just malfunctioning. You know.
Where did we go wrong in that game? Oh, it was the just solo pick. That's it.
You know, I'm not saying they can't win with this comp, but I'm saying why not? Why not try something different? That's why I'm favoring the Pi comp again. Just because I mean, there's value in playing different stuff, you know, against the same team, right? Like, there's different stuff to adjust to. Okay, okay. There's some slightly different picks here. That's all right. We'll quickly adjust. So there is an Agni and there is a Churn apparently, and
There you go.
now I'm more happy. So there
That's
we
that's
go.
that's
All
way
right,
better.
I'm gonna retract the statements I made in the last 30 seconds there. Yeah, okay, I like the Knights comp. I'm going for them. They're gonna win. GG. What about you, Moss?
GG. That's all I have to say.
Alright, and with that being said, I'm gonna throw it over to the casters who are probably just as confused as I am.
It's a wonderful day for Pi, Jay Better.
I see trees of green.
What color roses though?
Clouds of white.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a wonderful day
Vem
for Pi,
doesn't
right?
die to blue buff tonight.
What are you thinking?
What am I thinking?
Well, think yourself.
I think a lot of things to myself. I think
Anyway.
I'm thinking that the vintage tainted pickup could be big. To be honest, that's tech right there.
Terrifying. That's terrifying. Tech
That's
is
an
what it is.
unkillable Zhongkui, by the way, right now.
I mean, and I think that that's a very late game kind of win condition here for It's a Wonderful Day for Pi, is that that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Sean, though, is a little bit low on health here, as we're going to see this duo lane as well. Young looks the Gorus running exactly the same lane that they were last game, Nox and Jingwei here. But this time, Jed's still on the emoji, but Wade is going to be playing that Chernobog. How do you think that shakes things up here for Knights? Do you think it just sort of changes their rotation capacity and gives them a bit of a better opportunity in mid, or what do you think they're going to do with the Jebito?
Honestly, I think it makes their late game. Holy!
A lot of damage onto Stoinis there as a kill. First blood is going to go to It's Your Boy Sean. Stoinis is
Guys, don't worry,
down.
it's a troll pick. He's just lagging.
Yeah, man.
I'm getting a lot of damage. This could be a kill here as well.
Could be a kill as that's
Oh.
Tower Vematron will find the second kill. Tower does get Vem, but the credit's not going to go to Abs. That would have been really, really massive if it had
I
been
think,
a trade there.
okay, so this is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say. I really like the guys on Crimson Knights. So obviously, this is a complete analytical stance.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
Both games started the exact same way. It can happen once, that's fine, right? You can get caught off guard. You cannot get the same, like, a kill in mid, kill in solo. That can't happen 2 games in a row if you want to be winning these games. Like, Pi might not throw their lead this time. They're not gonna, you know, like, if the same thing happens again, it's not just, we messed up, we got caught off guard, it's a picks and bans issue. You had the chance. This is the chance to make it different. They picked the same draft into you. This is the same thing. But it's
He's
gonna
putting
cav into the
pressure back
Vadaji.
onto Vematron here, which is good to see. He needs to be able to put this pressure back on Stoinis is making rotation over to this lane. Blue buff is spawning as well. I would expect Sean to be in the area soon as well. Vem is holding his dash, which is so important here because Stoinis is waiting in the wings to be able to just go in on Vem. The dash has come out finally from Vematron. Stoinis level 3, and it's boy Sean over here level 4 as well. Stoinis just not able to find the position on it. It's just instead going to go back towards the blue buff here. He was waiting so long to be able to find
Vem was holding clear there really well. You know, there's no need for him to do it. There's no need for him. His second wave was coming. They've touched now. He could have frozen the wave at tower. There's no need for him to try to even interrupt Guan's clear. Doesn't do anything for him there.
Yeah, like I don't mind what Abs did there. He kind of dashed aggressively to bait Vem into using his dash. Problem with that though is that Vem did use his dash back towards the tower and it made it impossible for Smite to get aggressive there. Wade though, he's going to pick up his purple buff and drag it back towards the backside of his T1 tower.
I like
Doesn't
this from
quite
Legs.
want the tower to take damage. Legs is doing a great job just forcing
Wow.
Wade to lose the gold to that to the tower shot there. Really
Yeah,
well played
that's
by
a great play. That's a
Vice
shank
support.
play right there.
Yeah, that's a
Well,
nice
he-
play. Bit of poke coming out
You're
of
my
it.
fantasy league team.
Hey. Am I? Oh yeah, I saw
We
that.
have each
Well,
other
it's
on
like
our fantasy
second.
league
Yeah,
teams.
we do. Very cute of us. I think it's in the same position too.
Shut up.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
No, yeah,
No,
for
anyway,
sure.
I think this Chernobyl, we were talking about this Chernobyl before 2 kills happened across the board and we got a bit distracted. I think that it can offer a quite a strong late game. I think that Chernobyl is a really strong late game with his passive. He's not building crit, it seems. I'm not saying that you have to, but I think that Chernobyl is better with crit.
For Jen here, blink out, look for that stun, might be able to find it, and the ultimate also doesn't connect with Wade there. Great dash coming out to keep him alive, and Sean's wasted a bit of rotation there as Jed and Wade are just fine.
Wasted? Is it? Because look at his backs. There's nothing up.
That's true. There is nothing up.
So,
Although now Stoinis is
what-
making rotation over towards this duo lane, maybe a counter rotate to look for Young Legs or Thagoras. Bit difficult. Thagoras still has a great matchup into the Susano, but an excellent rebuke comes down. Good zoning here from Young Legs though to try to keep his ADC alive.
Really good kill.
Jed 9 will pick up Young Legs. Well played
That's-
there.
that's
but
what we wanna
Thagoras will
see.
live.
There are quite a few unconvincing, I'll call them, emoji ults from last game, and that was convincing. That was a great ult. That was a great kill on Legs. Very patient from them too. They didn't just be like, oh, sorry, we can't get the kill. Stoinis just goes back to base. Again, he's got no backs up. He's got his right backs up. That's not really enough for him to not gank there. They get the kill.
Yeah, I really
Good.
like that. Look, and I think that every time Jed got a good Umoja off, a good like Rivers of Buke off last game,
Yeah.
it resulted in a kill. This game gets a good Rivers of Buke off, it results in a kill immediately. So I would just like to see Jed and his team focused on those ultimates and revolving their gameplay and their plans around those ultimates. I think there's a lot of gods that you can trap inside of it. Young Legs on that Nox is easy to trap. Sean on this Bracken easy to trap. Vemitron easy to trap. So there's a lot of options here as the blue buff going to be invaded here by a wonderful day for Pi successfully taking that one away from Abs by the looks of it as well.
That's good. He does have his breastplate, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Quite a bit of mana from that, but it's still nice. Still a good invade on a god who needs mana.
Yeah, you know, I like seeing that as well. You know, on the other side of it though, Knights have done a
He
good
does get
job
totem,
trying
right?
to get farm elsewhere on the map. They managed to pick up the left side mid camps and didn't get that shield buff that was stolen by Theg.
See, now, we've got something interesting happening here, right?
Ah.
Where Jed's doing the same thing, but there's no pressure. He's just standing there taking farm. Whereas when Legs was doing it with Gorus, Wade was under his tower, and he was losing farm.
Look,
I,
I 100% agree with what Jed did just there. If they get the shield buff,
oh, did he steal it?
Thagoras stole it.
That's funny.
Yeah, if they get that shield buff, I think that Jed being over there at that time is fine. Shield buff is really strong as a difference maker. But gosh damn, golly gee, did that not happen there?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's rough. The lead not too far out of control here for Pi, about 1,000 gold at the moment over the Crimson Knights. Good stun out onto Young
The
Legs there.
lung yegs.
Lung Yegs. As Sean's gonna make a rotation over as well. Noticing the builds though for the supports especially, we've got Heartwood Amulet coming out immediately for
Yeah, I mean the core 3v3 is
Jed.
all magical. I saw that at the start
like
when he built the T1, and I kind of like, I caught my breath for a second. I was like, is this actually happening? And then I looked at the team and I thought, okay, no, that makes sense. That
It does
definitely
make
makes sense.
I think
It's a very aggressive
necessary here,
start
though.
though, because if he's not gonna go Thebes or Prophetic, his late game prots are not going to be anywhere near what they're going to be if you have a Thebes or a Prophetic there. And Legs is going to go both, like he's been going every time I've seen him play. And his backline is going to be insanely tanky. And then so Jed has two options. It's either go stacks after and be really like behind,
Wade.
or don't go them, and then your backline just isn't as tanky.
Wade used Chernobog ult there to get back into lane and got immediately poked out by Theg. Like the knockup was on the ground. Oh, Vintage
Yeah,
in
no
a little
pods
bit
as
of trouble
well.
here as Jed and Nuxel are trying to chase him down. Bombs landed now over at blue buff as well. Invade coming out. So much damage has come down onto the Knights, but it was a beautiful Susanoo what manages barely to keep the Knights alive there.
Wow.
Oof, that was close.
That's a really good, and you look at the value that the Kabrakan is getting here. This is a
That's
great,
ridiculous.
great pick. It locks down every single member besides Chernobog. Chernobog has, it's not a great matchup, but it's not the worst.
It's good.
He can
It's
dash,
not bad.
he can dash into the wall, and he can be safe.
Jumps are better.
But yeah, but
arguably.
every other person gets wrecked by the Kabrakan here,
Yeah.
and it does have that alternative of like you have to be pretty careful with your positioning late game. You really don't want to be tanking anything because you're not that valuable if you're not full health, if you're not blinking, you know, if you're getting destroyed by Chernobog, by Agony. But if you are managing to be really sneaky, wait, oh, there's a Guan rotation. Oh, this is Lee.
Over here and Jed
Lee
is
with
over
your
in the
merges in-
solo lane now. It's in the solo lane now, yeah. I am very surprised right now because why are we doing this?
This
If
is
you
Scrim
were
Tech, surely.
I like this if you're looking for the Gold Fury and you're going to force it with that cavalry charge, but
What cavalry charge, huh?
what cavalry charge, correct? And Rivers Rebuke is up and is a much better contest.
Yeah,
for
I
Gold Fury than
don't
different
know
cavalry
what
charges.
happened there. I'm really confused. I don't know why Abs wanted to TP mid.
Oh, he TP'd.
Yeah, he TP'd there.
No, he TP'd to solo. No, he TP'd mid.
no, he TP'd mid.
He TP'd, yeah, interesting. Well, that's down now. And Vematron will have his TP up much sooner. I would expect that Pi are going to put a very aggressive play onto the Gold Fury very shortly.
Yeah.
And to your point as well about the way that Jed's building, he's going into a Chronos Pendant now as well.
Ooh.
So this is very aggressive comp and
Yeah.
builds coming out here for dash in from Young Legs there looking for Jed 9. We'll be able to lock him down a little bit. Sean though, not able to find the stun off the back of it. Very aggressive comp and builds coming out from the Knights, which I like if they're going to use that. You've got Chernobog ult that can do a lot of work around objectives. This is a good opportunity potentially for the Gold Furies. We've seen a lot of backs channeled here by It's a Wonderful Day for Pi, and the rotation's coming out from Knights as well. I really like this Gold Fury opportunity. Great vision. He's going to let them start this one up. There was a ward on top of this Gold Fury though. It's a bit dangerous, but Jed does have a
Big waste with his quad. Watch this.
Boris is here and blink out from Sean. Rivers Beak is down and Pi steal away the Gold Fury. Sean will fall for his trouble, but
Agni
that's an
had
excellent
bombs.
steal coming out. Agni did have bombs available. Vintage trying to chase down here will be locked down by Wade. Really well played there, and I think Sean is very happy to trade his life for that one.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it here.
You hate it here, bro? What, why?
Look, I'm not gonna say it on cast, but yeah,
But you hate it here.
I hate it here.
I think that
I've seen that situation happen a lot against Crimson Knights. Is what I'm saying.
Started up here by It's a Wonderful Day for Pi. Aggro in the area is going to struggle to steal this one away, but Jed and Stoinus have made a rotation over as well. Lockdown is Aggro. Look out. Also, he's going to throw his ultimate out here. And Young Legs actually able to completely rip Abs out of the map here. Now, pulled in is Jed 9 in a lot of trouble as Wade's going to make a rotation over with his ultimate. Potentially, no. He's landed back to take the 1v1 with the Gorus. Looks like it's going to go in Wade's favor for now. It's a Wonderful Day for Pi, though. Are going to take that Pyromancer. Vematron picks up Jed 9 in the meantime in the 1v1. Gorus winning this one handily. Wade has to dash into the wall and he's going to be knocked up as soon as he comes out. The 1v1 is clean, so Gorus rips Wade off the map. Pyromancer to Pi, 1v1 to Pi. They are taking this game absolutely to the Crimson Knights right now.
Yeah, I feel like Wade should be using his ult to rotate, not to just get back to lane like a pseudo TP. Just go TP if you're gonna do that. Not that's awful, but you know, you're dashing on like one of the best ADCs in the league. He's not going to let that happen, go off for free, and he's not. He's punished for it every time.
The beads out of Vintage.
Really good damage
getting under
from
that
Rixel.
tower. Stoinus might be able to find the kill here. Vintage lazy backs blink out from Stoinus, trying to chase this one down. He's going to use that teleport to make his way over towards where Vintage is, but he's only able to knock up Young Legs. Great zoning there.
Yeah,
really
peel
good
is
work.
insane.
Great peel from Young
This-
Legs. Is going
this
to keep
is-
his mid laner
Yeah,
alive.
this bit of analysis is very solo because I'm a solo laner, but like Abs has, if you look at Abs' build and you look at that fighter and Pyro, he gets absolutely obliterated, and it's pretty obvious to me why. Like Jed had the right idea. Apparently, Abs didn't get the memo that they had a 3 magical core and decided to go
Good
blind
play
shot
there
first.
from Jed. He's going to put Sean in here, but it's a 3v1. And Sean is absolutely taking it to the Knights right now. He's still alive. Stoinus finally able to find that kill, but he's trapped under the tower. Younglegs has done a great job locking Stoinus down there. Barely able to get out as the Susanoo.
That's criminal. That route was
Criminal.
so long.
Criminally underrated.
Yeah,
That was ridiculous.
that was such a long. Sean is itemizing a little tankier this game. I don't dislike that. I think binding's really good right now.
Yeah.
Pretty undervalued. I haven't seen either of the solo laners last game got. Not that you would got that much on Vamana, but I think it's really good on Guan. And you know, I think it's pretty good on Nox as well. But finally, Sean going into the binding, I think, yeah, I like it. I think if he's gonna itemize a bit more tanky, like maybe a Spirit Robe or a Magi's later on, I think that I definitely like that way. But that means he's definitely going for like a setup sort of play style, you know, with the stun, with the wall, rather than just like I'm gonna blink one shot flicks. I mean, wait.
Yeah, I like that. I think that it's definitely, you know, we saw him there. He did die, but he was also surrounded by 3 people and survived for quite a long time, and it created
That was a
enough space
limit
for young
testing
legs
death?
to... It was a limit testing death. Let's be real here.
He was like, how tanky am I? How much damage do I do? Let's find out.
Tanky
And he was
enough.
like,
Not
not
coming
really
up from
enough.
Goros, looking for the 1v1 with Wade. Won't be able to lock into that one though.
I know, like, here's the thing, right? I think you need to be shutting down Goros in these games. I feel like you just
can't.
Okay, yeah, that's the like. Why are we picking Susano first then? Like, why are
But
you?
it's- but it's
That's why
Jingwei.
he's going. That's why he's going Jingwei.
I
though.
guess so, yeah. That's
Like,
true.
you could just go a Wheelix, and it
The
feels
combat
way better.
chests have been stolen, and now it's a wonderful day for Pi. Have made a huge grouping towards the Gold Fury, and Knights are on the other side of the map. Do they want a T1 tower and trade for Gold Fury here? It's very risky. They have managed to split Pi over to.
No, they want a
Pi
Bastion.
side.
Just a Bastion.
I don't mind this if you realize that members of Pi are rotating to try to defend it, but they're going to back off here. I would have liked that if it was get the tower, force some rotations, take the fight, win the fight, and then do Fire Giant. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's a T1 tower traded off for Gold Fury there. I don't mind it if you know that you're never going to take that Gold Fury, but you've got Agni Bombs. That's not impossible to steal.
Yeah. Yep. That's true.
So Jay, better tell me, we have nearly 5k lead here in favor of Pi. How do you think that Knights, or what do you think Knights need to do to find their way back into this game?
Ooh, have a team fight.
Pulling lots of damage on there from Stoinis. He's going to manage to get Vem down to about half health, and Ab's doing a good job keeping his team healed up here. As the Pyromans are going to be started up right now by his wonderful David Fry. He's already going to go down to about half health. As in comes a Rizabig and wait up his own ultimate as well. Rizabig not able to find anyone. Sean able to find 2 members of the Knights inside of his own ult, and is ripping through their health bars very quickly. Jed goes down. Stoinis uses his own ultimate, not able to find anything for it either, and Wade is now trapped between all of these walls. He can't get out here. Able to sneak his way through, but B's Aegis pops, and the stuns are coming out. Vematron is going to knock Wade back up, and a great triple stun there coming out, but it's not enough as Wade goes down too. Finally, Abs is going to walk back into this one, seeing these low health bars, is going to start ripping down some protection. Sephora doing a good job just ripping into Abs' health bar as Stoinis able to get a pull, but it's not enough as the Aegis comes out for Vintage, and he's going to be able to survive that one now. Stoinis being chased down, blink out from Sean, trying to take the 2v1, the 3v1. Stoinis knocked up and knocked down. Vintage finds himself the kill. All 5 members of Pi survived that encounter, and they're going to go back towards the Pyromancer here.
That was the first real fight that we've seen from Knights this game, and it was really split. It was really split. I think that the reason I brought up just before that started that I think that their way back into this is team fighting is because they have a very strong team fight team, and they haven't really been fighting like.
They haven't been using it for team fighting either. Like,
Yeah.
that wasn't a team fight. It was very split.
Yeah, it was really split. They Yamoja ulted, and then I don't know what the ult was for, because it kind of looked fancy. Like, it didn't separate anybody. It was kind of just like, okay, let's group them all together, and then let's not fight them.
Not do anything with it.
Yeah.
I like.
Like I want to see Susano pull into Agni Bombs or stun into, you know, Susano going. Like, I want to see some synergy and some fighting, and like, you know, why are we picking a comp like this if that's not going to happen? You know, they're playing
for
like they've
sure.
got 5 Carlies on the team.
I think crucially as well, like the Crimson Knights have actually got a heap of good potential here, and I think that probably what they could be doing is they could be using potentially. Oh, Stoinis able to find Young Legs at the backline there at that green buff. Well done
Very
there.
nice.
We're seeing a bit of a rotation here from the Knights as well over to this left side of the map. They might be able to knock this T1 tower down. Although Vintage 4 is making a rotation, Tagoras able to back there successfully.
He won't make it for the T1, but he could be there for the fight afterwards.
Stoinis has just been knocked right back into the depths of the tower here. He did use that to kind of get himself into the tower range to knock it down here. now Vintage is in the area looking for some damage, won't be able to find it, and Jed, of course, using
Oh.
that really big, is trapped inside of his own ultimate there by Sean, who managed to get his ult off. It looked like that was beads potentially popped by Sean there, as Asbro is able to fire the cavalry charge off in the backline, but now in so much trouble, can't find his way out, and Thegoris is going to be credited with the kill. Losing your solo laner for the T1 tower might not be worth it here, as the chase is still going on. Vemetron looking for Jed Knight, won't be able to find a knock up here, I don't think. Jed able to position his way around that one, but Pi can probably rotate their way to this mid T1 tower and knock it off the map.
Sorry, Sean Bede's only just coming up right now, so
Okay,
don't know
so
how
before.
he didn't. Yeah. But yeah, that was a really good ult from Sean there, stalling out Jed, and then
And then
Abs kind of just was like, "Take me instead."
which I don't necessarily like. I think that after
Yeah, no,
Rivers Ravine
neither.
goes down, Abs is worth more later on, or like at that point, than what Jed can be worth.
Yeah.
Um,
I need to see this next item for this squad be a Spectral. Oh, this is a sick play.
This is a sick play. The Gold Fury goes down. It's a wonderful day flying the Crimson Knights and started off with Fire Giant. Only Itsy Boy Sean is in the area to do
No,
anything about this.
no.
There he is. Blinks in, looking for the damage. He steals the Fire Giant. Once again, takes another objective for his life. Sean is absolutely insane today.
I'm sorry, Nuxel. Use your bombs, brother. Please, once
Vintage has been
secure an
poked
objective.
out, has to use that. Aegis there is going to be chased down by Stoinus. Finds the kill. Now the chase is on even further into the depths of the backline. Goes as the probe with that cavalry charge. And there's a Rivers Rig as well. We're going to be able to find Young Legs here as well. The Knights, they might have lost the Fire Giant, but they take the Fire double kill for Stoinus. Now chasing for more. Maybe the right side T2 tower. No minions here available. Stoinus is going to have to push that one up. That was something.
I actually didn't watch the fight, and
I gathered.
because my head
gathered that
was
you were just
actually
angry.
in my hands. I was looking down. I was so disappointed, and then all of a sudden, 3 people died. So
Yeah, man. It actually, despite the fact that you were upset with Nuxel there, with not securing the Fire Giant, he was actually the one that started that fight and managed to get the kills there. So
nice. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Good fight then, and I think that this. I think you probably could have maybe tried to poke out the T2 a little more, but like it's not the worst thing in the world to go off here. They're pretty split. But now the fact that Jingwei still has the fire means that there should be no more towers. I want to see Pi look for these towers.
As Pyromancer has been started up here by Crimson Knights. That boulder very early fired off there by Vemetron, who's stepping up on the triple, won't be able to find it, but the Pyromancer getting ever lower. Actually, he's going to be dropped here by both teams. Once again picked up by Pi, will be able to secure that one down.
Oh.
Being aggressed on by Sean. Great double stun there coming out from Houston. Will be able to keep his mid laner alive. Sorry, his ADC alive there, but the chase is still on. Wade forced to use his speed there off the back of that horrific Jed Knight lockdown. Great triple stun there from Abs, but it's not enough as that huge damage comes out from Vintage. A great double stun again from Nuxel. It's just stun after stun to keep people alive here, but now Wade is deep in the backline and is going to fall himself as well. And somehow, despite the fact that Knights have won the fight, they picked up a Pyromancer for no reason at all and fall down to the
I think
chase from
Yeah,
Pi.
they weren't really aware that they were dead if they got caught. They
Why
definitely
are you not aware of that?
just leave. Leave,
Just
guys. It's still fire. It's still a Jingwei, and you still don't have a Spectral yet. I, for some reason, don't think that, like, that it's like I don't want to. They don't understand that like that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
You aren't gonna win these fights. Look at the Jingwei's damage. Look at who's next. It's the Hercules. Solo lane things. It's just the Jingwei. Until you get that Spectral, and because she has fire, you can't fight anymore. And you did, and you lost.
Look,
Yeah, also,
think-
yeah, like Goris is 4 levels up on Abs
Yeah,
with no
that's true.
Spectral. He's dead in 2 autos.
That's true. Bit of aggression here from the Knights, trying to show some more signs of life. As Stoinus might be locked down here by Vemetron. Just going to be poked out. Good pull though. He's
Oh.
going to keep him inside here. The push off the back of it is not going to connect though. So Stoinus is okay. This is quite the golden differential right now though, as Fire Giant is about a minute off of respawn. 7,400 gold, 9,000 XP Beto. But we did see that the Knights had signs of life there. They lost the Fire Giant. It was a great call to go for the Fire Giant, but then they won the fight afterwards. So
Yeah.
this is
And
not
then-
over for them.
The weird stall fight that they did actually stopped them from losing any towers. So
Yeah.
is that a win? Is it a win? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these
Odie
towers are
Fury
gonna go down.
and
Ooh,
Fire Giant up at the
Vemetron
same
playing very
time.
aggressive with the Stoinus once more, and Young Lake's doing a great job just keeping him locked down here. Vem did use his ult there, and you're right, Oni and Fire again going to be up at the same time, but this time, I don't think the Knights are ready to go over towards
Yeah,
the Fire
Vem's
Giant
already in
time,
mid. He's got vision of them. There's no way that he's letting this Fire go for free this time. And Knights don't care about the Oni.
I mean, they can't care about the Oni at this point. Fire Giant spawning, and if they go to that Oni and lose, they lose the game. Stoinis
This
hasn't
just
had a
in.
chance to
Abs'
heal
next
up.
item is not spectral.
Stoinis not able to lock down Vemitron either, as he saw a lot of bombs burn there by Newcastle, only has one left
I'll fix it.
in the barrel here as Fire Giant can be started up by his wonderful Day for Pi, and Knights are backing off very aggressively right now, or very hard right now. It's a big bait coming out from Pi as well. They haven't actually put any damage into Fire yet. They want someone to walk up from the Knights.
I'm in shambles right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that, bro? Is it just the
Um,
lack of spectral?
There's no spectral, yeah. Into Jingwei twice in a row.
Pi have 3
Uh,
bombs right now.
Yeah, that's awful, actually. That sucks. You could almost secure full Fire Giant with that,
You
right?
could basically secure a full Fire Giant with that. That's so much damage.
I'm ready
but
for
that's so
Abs.
much damage.
Ready? Goris is going to press 2, and Abs is going to disappear.
Ooh, Abs, well done there. Good dash to get him outside of Vemitron's range, just barely. As Fire Giant has been started up by Pi once more. Abs trying to find his boy Sean here is trying to zone away the potential that Sean has to blink in. Meanwhile,
Stoinis flanking
by
behind.
Jed. This is looking really good here as the bombs are dropping and Vemitron in a lot of trouble, but Vintage has found his way underway, doing a little bit of damage. Adfro has found Vemitron. Wade in a lot of trouble here as Jed is going to fall for zoning. The bomb's coming down and doing a lot of work here. Adfro though is going to fall to Thegoris, and you're right, that damage coming out from the ADC is just a little bit too much, but Knights have secured themselves a little bit more time here, as it's a wonderful day for Pi. They're not going to be able to start up this Fire Giant just yet. They have stayed in the area though. Stoinis might be able to find someone. Vintage so low on health right now. Fire started up once more. Thegoris forced to dash inside of it. Sean trying to find Stoinis. He knows exactly where the jungler is, but Stoinis doing a great job walking his way around these walls. But he started to channel his back. This Fire Giant is going to go the way of Pi.
Great fight by Pi. That zone from I know it was Sean. I think Vem was there too. I'm not. It might have been Vintage. Yeah, that was a sort of Vintage. Yeah, that was a great zone on both the carries there. And like I said, you know, you're in this situation where the Guans, like, your dive is not good.
Look,
Right,
Knights.
I'm gonna go bathroom while we wait for waves to get pushed.
What the what?
Oh, and there's a pause, so it's okay.
What just happened? How did I lose my co-caster? Okay. Knights, I think, in that last fight had a good opportunity there. They definitely found themselves positioned well, where Wade and Nuxel weren't being pressed on too hard. Nuxel especially was able to find a lot of damage to chunk out there on the front liners from Pi, which made a huge bit of a difference. Stoinis did an excellent job alongside Abs being able to get into the backline there, but it was just unfortunate that their dive was such a full dive, and it meant that Jed9 was kind of trapped with no way for anybody to turn around. If Abs and Stoinis are able to do what they did in the backline there, and then turn around and have some potential to help out their team and save their backline a little bit, that fight goes completely different, and the Fire Giant likely goes in their favour. 3-2-2 towers still up on the map here for Crimson Knights. Pi, it looks like they're forcing a lot of their grouping onto the left side. One is Thegoris, absolutely takes a 1v1 with Wade once more. The crits were just too much. Theg still full health after that one. Theg is the 1v1 king today as Knights. They were pushing up the mid lane here, and now the left side Phoenix is being aggressed on. Bombs coming out from Nuxel, and not going to be enough. The left side Phoenix very likely to fall here as the TP comes out from Abs. The Phoenix is already gone, and Abs can you focus on break with a bit once more though. We're going to tap Vintage side of that one, but won't be able to find it. And the ultimate from Vintage is just too much as Nuxel goes down. Jed now being aggressed on, trapped inside. It's a combo from Young Legs, goes to Vintage as well. Double kill for the Zhong play. Thegoris in right lane is now going to be able to push down this right side bird completely for free. Nobody here to defend this one. The Titan very likely to be aggressed on here. The Stun's not going to be able to connect there as Abpro is able to find his way back to the fountain here. Veptron a little bit low health, but he's going to push Abs straight back in. Abs going to heal up here. Stoinis just looking to zone out anybody from this aggression onto the Titan, but Young Legs combo is going to be too much, and it's going to completely lock down Abpro. Vintage has himself an unofficial triple kill here. Stoinis so into the backline. He's going to be able to find one. Thegoris so double kill for the ADC as the Titan falls ever lower, and the first set of Season 1 is going to go to It's a Wonderful Day for Pi.
Wow.
Nice.
Bye, Spectral, guys.
Bye, Spectral, guys.
That was a very good showing from Pi, and that game wasn't as close. Didn't look as good for the boys on Crimson Knights, but I still think that game one is worth being happy for. You know, that could have gone either way.
Yeah, I think that both teams definitely had potential there. I think that Knights were for at a lot of different points in the driver's seat in both games. And it feels like potentially just adapt what they're doing a little bit, and you completely change the script there. It's a wonderful day for Pi. Obviously, we're able to capitalize on some of the mistakes that came out there by Crimson Knights. Yep. But either way, we're going to throw it on back to our desk to break down that game and bring us to our MVP vote. Nan and Most, take it away, boys.
Hello, hello, and that is the end of our first set of Smite OCL. And the set goes to It's a Wonderful Day for Pi. That it was a similar game to first game. It was quite close, a bit back and forth. I think a little more dominant for Pi. But yeah, at the end of the day, just again, Pi was just very strong with those team fights and had some really good team play there.
Yeah, I really liked the Cabrakan pick. I think he was catching out members of the Knights in bad positions as well. Thegoris, outstanding performance. There was one slight misplay he made in the first game, I think, dying to fire, but outside of that, pretty clean set from him. He took the life of Flix twice, which is very nice. And yeah, I thought it was a great performance from Pi. And I think a slight bit of frontline miscommunication, disconnect for the Knights, but it's only the first week, so I reckon they can iron some of those things out.
Yeah, it was a pretty flawless set from Theg. Jingwei definitely seems to be a pick that's coming along very nicely for him. And Vinny had a great one as well. I think, yeah, just with some of those fights, a lot of disconnect we were seeing. A few, I think, like in the mid game, Knights had some decent skirmishes, but definitely like when they're grouping around the fire giant and stuff like that, they were just a bit disconnected. We saw Sean a few times get through to steal a few objectives away, and then later on, like we saw Vintage and Sean completely zoning out the two carries, while another fight's happening on the other side of the map almost with the dive for Knights, and yeah, like, and then there's another instance where it just seemed like they were going in one by one. Like Jed would use his engage, die. As soon as he dies, Lass would go in and use all his kit, and then as soon as he dies, Abs is going in and using all his kit. And it's like it's a thing that I think a lot of teams struggle with, especially teams that are still in their growing phase, as it is early in the season. Just like I think it's definitely worth for them to just watch back those fights and see what they can do to kind of be more on the same page. But I'm pretty impressed with how Knights played. I think like at the start of this set, I could see the games being a bit more one-sided, but I feel like they definitely showed they can be on the same or similar level at least to Pi, and
Yeah, it
that's kind of
definitely wasn't a pushover. I was impressed with Stoinis on the Susano. I can see why they value the pick. I'm not too sure about in first, but I think the Susano was quite potent. Um, Similar what happened in the first game on the on a late game fire where Jed positions very aggressively to get the Rivers Rebuke on the objective, but then leaves his backline kind of exposed. And experienced players like Sean will take that opportunity any day of the week to just go and smack a carry for free. So there's good points for Pi, and there is good points for the Knights as well. But I think being so early in the season, you can only really go up from here for both teams.
Yeah, exactly. For how early it was in the season, both played pretty well, and I think a lot can change if by the time these guys end up facing each other again, if they do. So yeah, but that's where it is right now. Both of those games, definitely a good watch. Would have been nice to have a third game in there. I definitely could have seen that coming, but either way, that's pretty much the conclusion of our breakdown there, and we'll throw it back over to Dice Heart for some closing thoughts and what else to expect for the rest of this week. Oh, we're doing an MVP interview. I have been informed we are doing an MVP interview, and as voted by the chat, MVP Thegoras. I agree with that. I think he's definitely MVP. He played flawlessly. What do you reckon, Moss?
He definitely had the competitive advantage over Flicks. There was no answer. Solo killed twice. What more can you say?
Not much, really. And we have him right now. Hello, Thegoras. Welcome. Now I'm on this side and you're on that side.
That's weird.
Now, yeah. Ex-teammate. No, but really good set. I hope you enjoyed yourself. We enjoyed watching it. I know Jingwei might not be the most interesting characters to play, but
Bro, I love Jingwei. Look, MVP actually goes to Fire Giant. It was 50% of my deaths. And what can I say? Shield buff is mine. Don't touch it.
yeah, for sure. I mean, fair play for Flicks, you know, having some brawls with you and not just shying away. I think you definitely got the upper hand of those, but how did you kind of find the lane for both of those games?
I think for me, like, I mean, obviously, I'm picking Jingwei. I'm not there to like hard pressure the lane, but I don't know. I felt like we coming in, we're like, okay, I'm just gonna pick Jingwei. If they try to camp me, they're screwed. If they don't, they're screwed. Because either way, I'm just like a late game powerhouse with that god, and they didn't go spectral, which I don't know.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, I
that was
hope that.
certainly interesting.
I was,
Can you guys all do that against my team, please? Just don't go spectral and we'll go Jingwei. That would be
I'm
fun.
on it. Yeah, I'll make sure that's in the team comms, no spectral.
And I did
Yeah.
notice an Artemis ban as well, both games. Is that
I
what's
think-
happening there?
I think that's just spiking me for trying to pick it in jungle last season all the time.
Yeah, okay. I'd be
I'm so
curious
mad
to
we didn't get to
see.
do that.
That's so sad.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if that carries through the rest of this season. Moss, did you have anything you'd like to ask Theg about how the games went?
Well, not really. It was pretty convincing performance. Is there many other ADC picks you got in the back pocket, or are you just gonna keep playing the Jingwei if it ain't broke?
Yeah, as long as it's open.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's
I don't
open
know.
and
I mean,
mental
they are
might
building
fail.
spectral.
I have a weakness to Vintage saying the word Artemis, so I will pick it if it ever comes up in comms. So yeah, look
Okay.
out for that.
I have a question.
writing
What were
that
the
down.
comms when you died to Fire Giant?
I
Probably
think
barely
at
quiet.
first I was just like very confused because I think the whole time I think like for 70% of my health I didn't realize I was even tanking Fire Giant. I was just having like no, there was nothing going on in the
It's
brain.
only when the rest of your team gets off it and you are now 1v1ing the Fire Giant.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't back down. You can't back
Exactly. I had to take the challenge, man. I had to.
Well, all right. Number 1 ADC goes to Fire Giant.
Yep.
down.
So much damage. It did more than 100% of my health. It's crazy.
We just
How are
have
the
to-
comms? How are the comms for your game? Theg, were they very calm and collected? I know Sean was having a few technical difficulties first game. Did he continue to lag for the rest of the set there?
Not only for game one at the end. Luckily, the reconnection, new game sorted him out. But the comms, really, really good. Really, keeping the encouragement up. Morale up. Everyone was happy. It was all good.
Who are the main talkers? Is there some more than others, or is it kind of an equal share across players?
I think there are 4 people who talk a lot, and then there's me who talks when I get a shield buff. Yeah.
That sounds optimal. You are ADC after all, so little
Exactly.
talking
What do
required.
I need to do? Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's the rest of my question. Unfortunately, I struggled to think of questions to ask ADC players. No offense.
I've got a question.
Oh, hang on. No, that's the thing. That's why I died to FG. Is Legs leashed it and put me to sleep at the same time.
Yeah. He walked
Is there
out.
any
and you fell
players? Any
asleep.
players on the
Sure.
Knights? Any players on the Knights that stand out to you?
I think
No.
the Lath was showing up with the Susano actually. It was
Yeah.
looking good. I think Flick's definitely the standout there. Definitely wouldn't back down when he had
He's
Chernobog.
bold.
He was going in every time. I respect that.
That's big.
For sure.
All right.
Anything else to add there, Moss?
No, not really. I think it was a great performance. Nice job.
Yeah, really well done again, Theg, and looking forward to some more Jingwei gameplay next week.
Yeah, everyone loves Jingwei gameplay for sure.
We'll probably see you then. So, cheers for having a talk to us, and all the best.
Yay,
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Jingwei.
Woo.
See ya.
See ya.
All right.
And
Wei
yeah,
and Legs on the same team.
Yeah, true.
Sheesh.
That's why Knights lost. They were all asleep. All right. Well, that was
we'll,
a.
yeah, we'll
that
be
was an
closing
excellent.
out the stream because Dice is has gone. He's left us.
Yeah.
So